Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 247 based on novel. So let's start. Wang Lin didn't merge with the world when he came within 100,000 kilometers of planet Earth flame. Instead, he walked step by step and became increasingly faster. The reason he didn't merge with the world and used spatial bending was because this battle was extremely important to him. Through each of those steps, his heart calmed down and his eyes was terrifyingly calm. There was a sense of battle intent that grew stronger with each step as he pressed ahead. This battle intent increased like crazy as Wang Lin moved forward. In the end, it formed a storm behind Wang Lin. This storm was too strong as it contained all of Wang Lin's battle intent. Of the 108 celestial titles, I want one of the 36 heaven celestial titles, not the 72 earth celestial title. Wang Lin's eyes became cold. He had to win. In order to compete for the 108 celestial titles, this was only the first step. He had to obtain the qualification in the southern domain before could he truly compete. The storm created by battle intent spread like crazy. This shocking aura vaguely merged with the world and there were a black fish and white fish rotating inside the storm. This storm covered tens of thousands of kilometers and continued to expand. Battle intent came from Wang Lin's heart. Right now his heart was filled with killing intent. His black hair fluttered, and at this moment, he looked like a celestial demon. The white on his clothes didn't reveal a snow white but a bone white. Not only did Wang Lin have to win, he had to win completely. Only then would he have the qualifications for the Shengong family to take him seriously when he seeks them out. The battle intent inside Wang Lin's eyes reached a peak. However, there was a hint of sadness within this battle intent, and this sadness came from his He still remembered the illusion of the entire world collapsing around him when Li Muwen's last drop tear fell. That sense of isolated sadness and loneliness. He could never forget that when he reached the ascendant stage he was will to defy the heavens for the silver of emotion he refused to give up. Coming to the all-heaven star system and going through all the battles so far was all for Wan's resurrection. The words from the woman from the Shengong family were like countless thunderclaps echoing in his mind. That was the fundamental reason he came to the all-heaven star system. He couldn't lose. There was also Qing Shui's test. Wang Lin wouldn't allow himself to lose. While holding this powerful belief and invincible battle intent, Wang Lin's origin energy cycled like crazy. The storm behind him grew and the yin and yang fishes rotated even faster. This powerful battle intent spread like crazy and echoed within 10,000 kilometers of planet Earth flame. Wang Lin walked step after step and gradually moved faster and faster. He was several times faster than thunder, than a meteor, and even a ray of light. At this speed, Wang Lin directly charged into area within 30,000 kilometers of planet Earth flame. At this instant, the two cultivators that were battling immediately turned pale and were filled with terror. They even forgot about killing each other. They turned their heads toward the source of what made them feel so terrified. At this moment, not only those two, but the expressions of almost everyone within 10,000 kilometers changed as they looked into the distance. Even the two blue-robed messengers of the Thunder Celestial Temple felt their hearts pounding, and all the blood inside their bodies seemed to have solidified. Only their origin energy moved like crazy inside their bodies. It was as if they wouldn't be able to resist at all if they didn't do this. The ancestors of the cultivation families all opened their eyes from their cultivation. They stared into the distance and their eyes lit up in shock. What a powerful battle intent! If they felt this, then there was no need to talk about everyone else. All the cultivation family members watching were all shocked as they looked into the distance. The spiritual energy inside their bodies began to activate like crazy without their control. When faced with this vast and unimaginable battle intent, if they didn't do this, their hearts wouldn't be able to withstand it. This battle intent was too strong, too intense, and too overbearing. Battle. Endless battle intent seemed to form the word, battle, that echoed inside the ears of all the surrounding cultivators. Although this word was silent, it vibrated inside the minds of all the cultivators. Those with weak cultivation immediately coughed out blood and suffered injuries. When they lost to this battle intent, an irresistible thought formed in their minds. Shengong Wu's eyes bulged and he suddenly stood up. An irresistible feeling rushed out from the depths of his soul like a flood. In his mind, it was as if there was a primordial beast walking over from the distance. This endless battle intent made his blood boil. It was as if he was holding a breath, and if he didn't let it out, he would be injured. This wasn't the key point. The key point was that there was a very familiar feeling inside that battle intent. That aura combined with the bitterness in his heart caused a complex feeling to fill his body. Respected Lord. Shengong Wu's body trembled. He originally thought that he had been let down, that he had lost faith in his lord. He thought himself deceived by him. However, at this moment, a power appeared within his body that made him excited once more, but this time there was a hint of unwillingness. Roar? Shengong Wu let out a roar that surrounded his body. This aura absorbed all the complex emotions inside him and eventually turned into battle intent as well. This battle intent shot out like a large dragon. It wasn't only him. At this moment, Zhong Konglai also stood up and stared ahead. He didn't have the ability to detect Xu Mu like Shengong Wu did, but from the familiar aura he felt inside the battle intent, he had his speculations. Carrying the pressure from this battle intent and the unyielding nature of the Zhong family, he was like an unsheathed sword. A monstrous battle intent also exploded from him after Shengong Wu released his battle intent. This battle intent also turned into a dragon, but it was a sword energy dragon, and it charged out from his body. Tang Yanfeng slowly stood up as a dense killing intent exploded from his body. His whole body shot out like lightning toward where the battle intent was coming from. His eyes were cold and his killing intent was earth-shattering. This killing intent and battle intent fused to form a storm. This fused with Shengong Wu and Zhong Konglia's battle intents and shot out to confront the battle intent coming toward them. Under this pressure, these three weren't the only ones whose battle intents were ignited. A moment later, dozens of battle intents shot out with unyielding aura like thunder. This scene shocked all the surrounding cultivators. Only the purple-robed old man from the Thunder Celestial Temple was still calm. His eyes were closed and there was no change. Various storms formed by battle intent charged forward and collided with Wang Lin's battle intent. Explosion occurred during the collision, making it seem as if the entire space within tens of thousands kilometers of this area was trembling. Wang Lin, dressed in white, slowly closed in step by step. When he arrived, the battle intent sent toward him was slowly being suppressed. His cold gaze, his killing intent, and his monstrous battle intent mercilessly suppressed them all. A roar echoed as Tang Yanfeng charged out. A red sword emitting shocking sword energy appeared in his hand. As his origin energy cycled inside his body, various spells appeared around him. They turned into scarlet lotuses and charged toward Wang Lin. Behind him were some cultivators that wouldn't be oppressed by this battle intent, and they charged toward Wang Lin. A cold flash appeared in Wang Lin's eyes and he took a step. He raised his right hand and the origin energy inside his body rushed out like a storm. His early-stage Nirvana Scryer cultivation rushed out of Wang Lin's body and swept the area. As his origin energy spread out like crazy, Tang Yanfeng's eyes revealed a trace of terror. He never imagined that the person before him would have broken through the corporeal yang stage and reached the Nirvana Scryer stage. Just as his eyes revealed terror, Wang Lin arrived and shot out a heavenly chop. It collided with Tang Yanfeng's red sword, causing it to shatter, and the fragments were blown back. Tang Yanfeng exclaimed when Wang Lin's two fingers formed a sword and broke through all of Tang Yanfeng's spells. All of the scarlet lotus around Tang Yanfeng collapsed. As the explosions echoed, Wang Lin's two fingers didn't stop, they directly pressed on Tang Yanfeng's chest. There was a bang and then Tang Yanfeng coughed out blood and was knocked backwards. Popping sounds came from his body and thunder also exploded forth. His origin soul was injured and he was thrown far away. All of this happened in an instant, unimaginably fast. With Wang Lin's early-stage Nirvana Scryer cultivation, repelling a peak corporeal yang cultivator took no effort at all. If he had intended to kill, then Tang Yanfeng would have died. He withdrew his fingers and then his third eye opened and a ray of light shot. Wang Lin turned toward all the cultivators who followed Tang Yanfeng. The expressions of all those cultivators changed as their spells turned back to origin energy. All of them coughed out blood and were knocked back. Wang Lin's eyes were cold as he slowly said, "Of the 108 qualification spots the southern domain has, Shu Mu, won first place." Among the surrounding cultivators, someone immediately exclaimed, "Shu Mu! Master Demon Shu Mu! He is Shu Mu, I've personally seen him myself. Shu Mu? The Shu Mu that slaughtered planets in the Western Domain. This person was hunted by the Yao family and in the end forced the Yao family to retreat in defeat. The first person to survive the Heaven Order. Rumors say that the Yao family suffered heavy losses and had many of their family members killed by Master Demon Shu Mu. Not only this, but many cultivation families that participated in the hunt with the Yao family are now uneasy. As long as Shu Mu lives, they have to fear that Shu Mu will one day get revenge on them. Various talks exploded after a moment of silence. The name Shu Mu was too famous, almost no one in the All-Heaven Star system didn't know the name. As Shengong Wu stared dumbfoundedly at Wang Lin, the complex feeling in his heart gradually emerged. However, Wang Lin's early-stage Nirvana Scryer cultivation shocked him greatly. This shock came from the depths of his heart and filled his body. He really wasn't clear if the person before him was really as he thought. Zhong Konglai was also startled. He didn't expect the familiar feeling he felt from the battle intent to be Wang Lin. Wang Lin's cultivation had thoroughly confused him. The first time I saw him, he was at the peak of the late stage of Ascendant. The second time, he was at Corporeal Yang. Now the third time, he has reached the early stage of Nirvana Scryer. Was he really not hiding his cultivation? Zhong Konglai was lost. Senior. Beside Zhong Konglai, Zhong Yun immediately stood up in surprise. She quickly flew toward Wang Lin and respectfully stood dozens of feet away from him. She wasn't the only one, there were others here who were saved by Wang Lin as well. They were very excited and flew toward and bowed toward him. When he saw these people, Wang Lin nodded. Just at this moment, a gloomy roar came from a white stone in the distance. On the white stone sat an old man, and beside him was Tang Yanfeng, who was knocked out. What qualifications do you have to ask for first place out of the 108 spots in the Southern Domain? You don't have the qualification token, and doing this is tantamount to ignoring all the cultivators in the Southern Domain. The old man stared at Wang Lin with eyes filled with killing intent. In his view, although this Shu Mu didn't kill Tang Yanfeng, he had still seriously injured Tang Yanfeng. Even if he recovered, his cultivation level would drop greatly. In his current state, there was no chance he could compete for the celestial title anymore. Wang Lin's expression was cold as he looked at the old man. Just at this moment, there was a middle-aged man about 1,000 feet from Wang Lin. He was one of the people Wang Lin had saved from the Thunder Celestial Realm. After silently pondering for a moment, he clenched his teeth, turned toward the Tang family elder, and said, "My All-Heaven Star System Southern Domain Chen family recommends Senior Shu Mu to participate. I don't know if my Chen family has the qualifications." The eyes of the old man named Tang lit up. He didn't look at the middle-aged man but at the Chen family ancestor that came. Then another cultivator stood up. This cultivator was old, and after he stood up, he looked at the old man named Tang. He said, "All-Heaven Star System Southern Domain's Zhao family recommends Senior Shu Mu to participate. I wonder if my Zhao family is qualified in Senior Tang's eyes. All-Heaven Star System Southern Domain's Li family refers Senior Shu Mu to join the battle. I don't know if my Li family has the qualifications." A middle-aged man wearing dark blue took a step forward and looked at the old man named Tang. "The Sheng family also recommends Senior Shu Mu. I wonder if my Sheng family has the qualifications." After the middle-aged man, a woman wearing a colorful dress also stepped out. Although her voice was soft, it was firm. "I'm a direct descent of the Miao family and I recommend Senior Shu Mu. My Miao family is one of the families on the 3 main planets. Senior Tang, does my Miao family have the qualifications?" A cold youth in black slowly walked out. Their 4 people were all saved by Wang Lin in the Thunder Celestial Temple. They were grateful toward Wang Lin, but due to their families, they were unable to help when Wang Lin was hunted by the Yao family. They had always felt guilty over it, and right now they stood beside Wang Lin without any hesitation. This scene caused the expression of the old man named Tang to change drastically. Even the Chen family ancestor was startled. He revealed a wry smile and decided to simply close his eyes. Not only him, but all the leaders of the families that supported Wang Lin closed their eyes and were indifferent to this. Although this was the case, if anyone dared to question their family's qualifications, they would demand an explanation. Planet Earth Flames Meng family recommends Senior Shu Mu. I don't know if my Meng family has the qualifications. Another cultivator stepped forward and stared at the Tang family elder without any fear. Planet Thunderclouds Bailey family recommends Senior Shu Mu. Planet Dark Waters Sai Kong family recommends Senior Shu Mu. Planet Earth Flames Ju family recommends Senior Shu Mu. Planet Sky Blues Ning family also recommends Senior Shu Mu. I don't know if my Ning family as one of the families of the main planets has the qualifications. After those people stood up, even more people stood beside Wang Lin and stared at the Tang family elder. All of them were people who had managed to escape the Thunder Celestial Realm under Wang Lin's leadership. The scene before him shocked the Tang family elder greatly. He looked at all the cultivators beside Wang Lin staring at his family's junior. Even though he was someone with a high cultivation level, he silently pondered. These juniors were not worth anything, but the fact that the elders of their families did not stop them from doing this made the old man from the Tang family feel shocked toward Shu Mu for the first time. His was also at the Nirvana Scryer stage, and like Wang Lin, he was at the early stage of Nirvana Scryer. However, he had been at the Nirvana Scryer stage for a long time and had already reached the peak of early stage Nirvana Scryer. In the All-Heaven Star system, among the ordinary cultivation families, Yin and Yang stage cultivators could be considered a family's ancestors. Unless there were certain opportunities, it was impossible for Nirvana Scryer cultivators to appear. Only the cultivation families on the main planets would have Nirvana Scryer cultivators, but there wouldn't be many. Just one per family was the limit. Only a family like the Tang family, which was only one step below the Yao family, who had inheritance from the celestial realm, would have more than one second step cultivator. This came from tens of thousands of years of accumulation and couldn't be forced. The old man was one of the 4 people in the Tang family at the second step. He was also the weakest one. Zhong Konglai silently pondered for a while before raising his head and staring at the Tang family elder. Zhong Konglai, representing the Zhong family, recommends Senior Shu Mu. Senior Tang, do I, Zhong Konglai, not have the qualifications? The old man's expression became even more gloomy. Shengong Wu recommends Senior Shu Mu with the qualifications to participate. Shengong Wu didn't say much, but when he spoke, his eyes were filled with determination. The Tang family elder began to sneer. Just as he was about to speak, a quiet voice came from the purple-robed elder from the Thunder Celestial Temple. Shu Mu has the qualifications. Once he said this, the Tang family elder's expression changed greatly. He knew the purple-robed elder's identity, so he didn't dare to refute. He let out a cold snort, waved his sleeves, and took Tang Yanfeng away. The Tang family members quickly flew into the air, followed the old man, and left. Before leaving, the Tang family elder mercilessly gazed at Wang Lin, his gaze revealed killing intent. Wang Lin calmly looked over and said, "Explode." After he said that word, the Tang family elder was startled and his expression immediately changed. He turned around to look at Tang Yanfeng before Tang Yanfeng's body exploded into countless pieces. Even his origin soul immediately shattered under this impact without giving the old man any chance to save him. Wang Lin had hidden a force inside Tang Yanfeng's body. Unless the old man's cultivation was one step above his, at the mid-stage of Nirvana Scryer, then it would be impossible for him to find it in a short period of time. Since the Tang family had killing intent toward him, Wang Lin didn't hesitate to detonate that force and cause Tang Yanfeng to completely perish. Your Tang family better not become the second Yao family. Wang Lin's voice was calm, but the killing intent contained within was like a blast of cold wind. Shu Mu. The old man from the Tang family was furious. There was a trace of sadness in his eyes as he stared fiercely at Wang Lin. With one step, he charged straight toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin's expression remained neutral and he lifted his right hand. At this moment, a cold snort came from the purple-robed Thunder Celestial Temple messenger. The old man opened his eyes for the first time and revealed a cold gaze. No private battles are allowed during the competition. Tang Shan, take your Tang family members and scram for his old man. After the competition is over, if you want revenge, you can learn from the Yao family and resolve it yourself. The old man named Tang stopped. After silently pondering for a moment, he gave Wang Lin a vicious gaze before quickly leaving with the Tang family members. The purple-robed old man from the Thunder Celestial Temple looked at Wang Lin. His eyes lit up and he calmly asked, "You want first place among the 108 spots in the southern domain?" Wang Lin looked at the old man. Due to his current cultivation level, he could vaguely feel powerful origin energy fluctuations from the old man. Wang Lin wasn't able to see through this person's cultivation, but compared to blood ancestor, this old man was a lot weaker. If this old man wasn't at the Nirvana cleanser stage, then he was at least at the late stage of Nirvana scryer. "I do." Wang Lin calmly opened his mouth. His tone was decisive and was filled with battle intent. The purple-robed old man's eyes revealed a trace of admiration as he slowly said, "Good. If no one here dares to challenge you, I'll give you first place in the Southern Domain qualification battle. Does anyone dare to challenge?" The purple-robed old man's eyes swept past the cultivators from the Southern Domain that were sitting on the red stones. Finally, his gaze landed on one person. This person was dressed in black and looked about 40 years old. His face was slightly pale and there were 9 blades stabbed into the ground before him. Even when Wang Lin's battle intent arrived, he didn't react at all and silently cultivated. Only when Wang Lin revealed his early-stage Nirvana scryer cultivation did he raise his head and reveal an almost indistinguishable battle intent. "Zhong Konglai challenges Senior Shu Mu." An abrupt voice suddenly appeared. Zhong Konglai took a deep breath. His eyes were filled with confusion and a complex emotion. However, there was also battle intent as he respectfully clasped his hands at Wang Lin. "If Senior can convince me, then I'll be willing to give you my Tao ideal and name Senior my lord. Together, we will battle the alliance." After he said those words, a huge wave was immediately set off within the area. Wang Lin used one spell to repel Tang Yanfeng and showed his early-stage Nirvana scryer cultivation. With this mind, people had different thoughts when they heard Zhong Konglai's words. The surrounding cultivators only had an instant to think before Zhong Konglai charged into the arena. His eyes lit up like a torch as he looked at Wang Lin with an extremely serious expression and clasped his hands. "Senior Shu Mu, please enlighten me." Wang Lin's expression was neutral as he looked at Zhong Konglai. He used a gaze that made it seem like he was looking down from above. The current Wang Lin was very different from before. Back then, he could only pretend to be a senior. Even in the Thunder Celestial Temple, he only had a similar cultivation level to Zhong Konglai. Strictly speaking, he still had to be cautious. However, now his cultivation had broken through the corporeal yang stage and had truly reached the second step. Looking at Zhong Konglai now, Wang Lin's mind was calm, there wasn't the slightest ripple. Wang Lin withdrew his gaze and calmly said, "You're not my match. Considering the fact that we knew each other, back down." Zhong Konglai silently pondered as he looked at Wang Lin. His eyes were filled with a complex emotion as he said, "Senior, 700 years ago, Junior comprehend the unyielding nature of thunder on planet Heavenly Thunder. I fused that unyielding nature into my own body. After I returned home, I cultivated before the relic left by my Zhong family ancestor to form my domain. My domain is the unyielding battle intent. Zhong 1 is my name, and it is also my domain. There is only battle intent. With this domain, my cultivation level jumped leaps and bounds without any roadblocks until 400 years ago when I reached the corporeal yang stage, but even until today, my cultivation level hasn't increased. Senior, is my Tao right or wrong?" After he said those words, the surroundings became quiet. All of the cultivators became silent, and even some of the ancestors were silent. From the looks in their eyes, it was obvious this question had been on their minds as well. I once asked my Zhong family ancestor, Li Yunzi, but the answer I obtained made me even more confused. Zhong Konglai looked at Wang Lin and said, "Senior, please enlighten me." Wang Lin's eyes were calm as he looked Zhong Konglai and calmly said, "Your battle intent is very fragile." Zhong Konglai's eyes shined brightly, but soon they dimmed and he became even more silent. "I presume that your ancestors' answer to you was to challenge everyone under the stars with cultivation level similar to yours. To continue to battle and understand what the word battle means, to constantly win and consolidate your battle intent until you enter a battle-crazed state. At that point, you will break through to the Nirvana Scryer stage." Zhong Konglai's body trembled and he suddenly looked up at Wang Lin. Although Wang Lin's words were different from Li Yunzi's, the core meaning was extremely similar. "Please enlighten me, senior. For this, I'm willing to gift you my Tao ideal." Zhong Konglai backed up a few steps and bowed toward Wang Lin. "To casually give out your Tao ideal, what is the use of your so-called unyieldingness? Zhong Konglai, since we know each other, I'll gift you one sentence. The battle intent formed by endless battle is strong, but that strength has a limit. True battle intent is when your heart has a belief that makes you have to fight, makes you have to win, gives you the determination to battle. Even if you had to face me, had to face your ancestor, had to face the world, so what? It's only death." Wang Lin's voice was calm, but it was like thunder inside Zhong Konglai's ears. The rumbling thunder caused his mind to be shaken and he retreated a few steps. His battle intent disappeared and was replaced with a hint of enlightenment. "Back down." Wang Lin waved his sleeve and Zhong Konglai retreated out of the arena. He silently pondered for a long time before bowing at Wang Lin and sitting down on his red stone to cultivate. The surroundings were silent, but the eyes of black-robed man with 9 blades before him shined brightly. He raised his head as he looked at Wang Lin and said, with a hoarse voice, to directly point out the mysteries of Tao, "Brother, you are a disciple of Tao. Your comprehension is deep. I, Nangong, admire you. You are qualified to accept my challenge." The black-robed man spoke as if he didn't care if Wang Lin accepted his challenge or not. It was as if it was a great glory to be challenged by him. He didn't stand up, but his right hand formed a seal and he waved his hand. The 9 blades trembled and a terrifying blade energy came from the 9 blades. He waved his hand again and the 9 rays of sword energy shot toward Wang Lin. This blade energy was too strong. When it shot out, it seemed to contain some kind of law. It caused the space in the area to twist and even the light screen trembled. It was as if it couldn't withstand the blade energy and was about to collapse. One of the cultivation family ancestors sitting on a white stone saw the blade energy and muttered, "Nine-tune heavenly blade." After the surrounding people heard this, their eyes all lit up. They stared at the black-robed man with different thoughts in their heads. All Heaven Star System Southern Domains Nangong family's 9-tune heavenly blade. So this person is from the Nangong family. Before, the 4 great families of the Southern Domain were Nangong, Tang, Zhong, and Shengong. The Nangong family was originally ranked 1, but they mysteriously disappeared 1,000 years ago. There wasn't even half a member of the Nangong family member left on their cultivation planet. This even caught the attention of the Thunder Celestial Temple, but in the end they couldn't find a single reason as to why they disappeared. No wonder I had never seen this person before. It turns out he was someone from the Nangong family. As these various talks spread, the 9 rays of blade energy shot toward Wang Lin at a very fast speed. Wang Lin was calm. The black-robed man's cultivation level was same as his, early-stage Nirvana Scryer. The 9 rays of blade energy contained a destructive law that sealed off his paths of retreat. The only option was to confront it. Wang Lin's eyes became cold and he took a step forward. He raised his right hand and said, "Call the wind." Wang Lin didn't waste any words facing this person but used his most powerful spell. What he wanted was first place, and if he were to get entangled with this person, then his momentum would weaken and obtaining first place would become cumbersome. A gust of black wind suddenly appeared. The black wind was infinite and filled the entire area. The blade energy sealing the area wasn't able to block it at all. The blade energies all collapsed into fragments and were blown back. The black wind whistled, creating endless cold wind that could extinguish all life. Two black dragons immediately appeared from the black wind. Both black dragons were 10,000 feet long, and as their bodies moved, loud rumbles echoed from them. The roars of the fierce dragons were like the wrath of heavens. A dense killing intent surrounded the area. This killing intent came from Wang Lin. Although this spell was called Call the Wind, it used Wang Lin's origin energy. The killing intent from Wang Lin was merged with the black wind along with his rich battle intent. Roar? A fierce roar came from the two black dragons. At the same time, a storm was created, and it swept through the 9 rays of blade energy and caused them to immediately collapse. In the arena, Wang Lin stood there in his white robe and was surrounded by black wind. The two black dragons coiled around him with their 10,000 feet long bodies and were constantly roaring. Wang Lin was calm as he walked toward the black-robed man. "If you want to battle, then let's battle." A voice so calm that it was cold came from Wang Lin. At this instant, the expressions of all the cultivators that saw the spell changed greatly. Even the ancestors of the cultivation families were shocked. "This? What kind of spell is this? This spell is too strong, even with the light screen acting as a barrier, I still feel cold. It is like ice has filled my body and slowed my circulation. This is definitely no ordinary spell. This Shumu is worthy of being called Master Demon. All his spells contain such demonic nature. It's too strong. This kind of spell is too terrifying. If I were to face it, I would not be able to fight back at all. Where did he learn this spell? I have never heard of it before. The Yao family's thunderstorm spell is similar, but its power is lacking compared to this." The eyes of the purple-robed old man from the Thunder Celestial Temple lit up. He revealed a smile and said, "I heard from the Temple Lord that this Shu Mu is Celestial Lord Qing Shui's cross-generation junior apprentice brother. It looks like a possibility. However, between Lord Jieji's 9-tune Heavenly Blade and a celestial spell that can only form 2 black dragons, which is stronger?" The black dragons roared and continued to blast out cold wind as Wang Lin stepped forward. The cold wind charged toward the red stone the black-robed man was sitting on. The black-robed man's eyes became even brighter, though he still didn't move. His right hand formed a seal, causing 4 of the 9 blades to fly into the air. They intersected and began to rotate, causing a storm to appear. The moment this blade storm appeared, the surrounding space began to crack as if it couldn't handle it anymore. The man in black's voice was hoarse as he slowly said, "Heavenly Blade Annihilation." The 4 blades immediately charged out. They rotated and intersected with the storm. They turned into 4 boundless blades that could pierce the heavens and mercilessly chop down on the 2 black dragons. 9-tune Heavenly Blade. The Heavenly Blade was an ultimate show of strength. It was as if nothing in this world could resist against it. After seeing Qing Shui personally use Call the Wind twice, Wang Lin had learned a lot and his control over Call the Wind had increased. However, right now he couldn't help but recall the painting he saw on the 9th floor back in the Thunder Celestial Realm. It was as if he had become that boy, and he suddenly gained enlightenment. Wang Lin raised his hands as if his hands had fused with the 2 black dragons. 1. This is Chinese for battle fight. Since I sounds really dumb to use battle fight their sure name, I left it as the pinyin. This video will end here.